man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Look, I gotta say this so we'll get some understanding moving forward, man. This might prevent somebody from going over the deep end. We got a lot of things going on in the world. The world is messed up, and a lot of people are at that stage. And if I always been like that, to where they feel like proving their point, whatever that point might be, proving that point in a physical manner is more important than freedom, and more important than ending up in a cemetery somewhere. In the middle of your anger, in the middle of your just peak aggravation, you lose all rationale, you lose all logic, and whatever it is or whoever it is that got you riled up, you willing to risk it all to get back at that person, or to show that person that you're not weak, to show that person that you're not gonna be disrespected. And that's fine if done in the right context, because no, you're not supposed to be weak, and you're not supposed to allow yourself to be disrespected. But there are certain things that are not worthy of certain reactions, and there's certain things that are not worthy of a reaction at all. So when we say disrespect, it has to basically transfer into physical violation. Like, I'm defending myself from a physical standpoint. And if it's verbal disrespect, then I can give you that right back. I can defend myself against your words with my words. And that's what we got to learn to do, to learn to balance off and understand the difference of when it's time to really get down and when it's not. See, we got to understand that of all the things that go on in life that are not good, not pleasant, that rub you the wrong way, the truth be told, man, it's probably only 4 or 5 things total, handful of things total, that are worthy of you just going all out and just deciding, you know what, this is it. Whatever's gonna happen. Whether I take the ultimate L, or where I take a dub that leads to me taking the ultimate L. There's only 4 or 5 situations that justify that. And some of those are if you got a little daughter and somebody violated your daughter, son too, somebody is assaulting your mother or your sister, just females in your family being physically abused, somebody coming at you and you got to defend yourself physically, you defending yourself. There are only a handful of things that justify that. Where you just decide, man, if I gotta go to jail, if I gotta lose my life, whether I gotta take a life, whatever the case is, then people would look and say, well, hey, man, I'm actually with him. He did what he had to do. Everything else, there's other ways to deal with that. You don't just lose it behind every situation, even if it's talk. Because there are other people who need you out here. The ability to be able to get up every day and just get your children off to school and go to work and provide for a family that is 100% dependent on you. And even if you're not in that situation, there's still people who care about you. You got family, you got friends, And if you ain't even in that situation, it should strictly be for self and just for common sense to know what's worth it and what's not worth it. Now, the situation is that we will let the slightest thing push us over the edge. And it's not always about going to jail or losing your life. Sometimes our temper and our attitude, it may cost you a job. It may cost you a friendship. It may cost you a relationship. Because people get to tripping with each other, and it's like, whoa. You actually start to scare people. But all in your mind, you thinking is, I gotta let this person know where I'm coming from. I got to prove my point. And it's a lot of people that's sitting in prison right now that is two mindsets. They like very regretful of the point that they felt like they had to prove. And now they like, the gravity of the situation is kicked in and they like, oh man, this is my life now. And there's other people who did what they did, suffering that consequences, and they still don't care. I tell you, if I had to do it again, I'd do it again. Because proving that point meant more than their own freedom. So we got to be real careful with that, because also what we have people who will amp you up to try to prove a point that you may not even feel like you need to prove. But you got the people that, oh man, boy, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that. Boy, you lucky that wasn't me that he said that to, boy. You gonna let them do you? Then you start thinking like, man, maybe I am going out like a punk right now, and then you get out of character and do something that costs you your life in one way or the other. And these same people who pumped you up to do that, or who planted that slick little suggestion in you, they go on with their lives. They have no accountability on it, and all they're gonna do is fall back after the fact, and they're gonna tell the story. That's all they're gonna do. Yeah, man, he came around there talking crazy, man, and then Chuck just flipped out, man, and they're not even mentioning the role that they played in suggesting or pumping you up to do what you did. And life goes on. People forget about you, man. It goes through stages. It's the shock of what happens, then the aftermath in terms of whatever punishment comes behind it. Then they with you in the beginning, and slowly but surely you create more and more distance, or they create more and more distance from you, and you become forgotten. In some cases, defending other people. So you got to make sure you know what's worth it and what's not, because things can just in a snap, man. You just go into the store, and next thing you know, it's a scene, and all you was doing was going to the store, and you'll be saying that for the rest of the minute. I was just going to the store. When it's supposed to be gone with 5 or 10 minutes. So instill that in yourself, instill it in your children, and make sure you're not getting out of character trying to show out to prove some kind of point, impress somebody, and all this different type of stuff, man. Because you only get one. And to lose your life twice, that got to be a terrible thing. Because you're going to lose the physical life at some point. But to lose freedom for the rest of your physical life, that's 2 deaths. So think about that, man, and y'all make sure y'all mention anything that I may have forgotten, anything that I may have left out. Because you got people who, on the other hand, you try to tell them in the heat of the moment, and you tell them, man, that's not worth it. Come on, man, you got children, man. Come on, man, I don't want you to just flip out like this. And they still, like, I don't care. They know, they're well aware of what they're doing, because they're so driven by proving that point that they can't shake it. Got to help each other. All right, man. It's your big brother K-Rino. I will catch y'all later on. Anything I forgot again, make sure y'all leave in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Peace.